Morning, we'll be taking a look at the Punch newspaper, Vanguard newspaper. We'll also have the Guardian newspaper, the Explainer, and Alausa Alert. Beginning with the Punch newspaper, pastoral crisis. 11 states embrace FG ranching plan as killings surge. 11 states are taking steps to commence ranching as a way to address the age-long violent clashes between herders and farmers, which have claimed several lives. While some states have allocated lands for ranching, many others have pledged lands, and a few are developing policies that will guide the initiative as a viable business venture. ATM usage drops as POS agents handle 223 trillion naira. Point of sale terminals handled transactions worth 223.27 trillion naira in 2024, representing a significant increase from the 110.35 trillion naira recorded in 2023. This is according to data from the Central Bank of Nigeria's quarterly statistical bulletin, which shows a continued migration from automated teller machines to point-of-sale platforms for financial transactions across the country. Iran-Israel, petrol may hit 1,000 naira per litre as oil price soars. Global crude oil prices may cross $80 per barrel this week, following the major escalation in tensions between the United States and Iran, with the oil market reacting sharply to reports of coordinated U.S.-Israeli airstrikes on key Iranian nuclear facilities. This came as marketers of petroleum products said petrol prices may soon rise to 1,000 naira per litre due to rising crude oil prices and the volatility in the foreign exchange market. We move on to the Vanguard newspaper. 1 dead, 3 rescued as 40-foot truck crushes Korokwe bus in Lagos. Tragedy struck in the early hours of yesterday when a truck crushed a commercial minibus, popularly called Korokwe, along Old Ibaja Road by Agbotekoyo and route Iyanokbaja in the Alimosho area of Lagos. The crash claimed the life of the driver and left 3 other passengers injured. This incident occurred barely 48 hours after 2 bus rapid transit buses had a head-on collision at the cement bus stop in Alimosho, injuring several passengers, including a media practitioner who were rushed to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital Lasuth, Ikeja, for medical attention. Iran votes to close Strait of Hormuz after U.S. strikes on nuclear facilities. Lawmakers in Iran yesterday voted to close the Strait of Hormuz, a key global oil shipping route, as retaliation for U.S. strikes on its nuclear facilities. The vote comes hours after authorities in the country threatened that the U.S. strikes late Saturday night, which destroyed its 3 nuclear sites, would have everlasting consequences, saying there were no signs of contamination at its nuclear sites following the attack. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper, Oluwo bans alcohol within palace premises. The Oluwo of Iwo Land, Oba Abdurrashid Adewale Akobi, has announced a ban on the consumption of alcohol within his palace and its surrounding premises. The monarch made the declaration on Saturday during a meeting with palace staff held to mark his 58th birthday. Sharia Council condemns killing of wedding guests in Plateau. The Supreme Court of Sharia in Nigeria has strongly condemned the killing of 12 Muslim travelers from Kaduna who were returning from a wedding in Mangu local government area of Plateau State on Saturday, describing the incident as barbaric and inhuman. In a statement issued in Kaduna on Sunday, the council decried what it called the recurring pattern of violence in Plateau State, warning that the region has become a notorious hotspot for religious and ethnic bloodshed that must be urgently addressed. Tinubu bows out as ECOWAS chair hands over to Bill. President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria on Sunday formally concluded his tenure as chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, expressing deep gratitude and calling on regional leaders to remain committed to the ideals of peace, security, and inclusive development. Delivering his closing remarks at the 67th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Authority in Abuja, Tinubu reflected on his time at the helm with a sense of fulfillment and optimism for the future of West Africa. West African leaders admit security woes mounting in region. Leaders from the West African bloc ECOWAS on Sunday admitted during talks in the Nigerian capital that the region was in trouble, facing mounting unrest and political instability. Quote, our region is at the crossroads, unquote, said Sierra Leone's Julius Maada Bio as he took over the rotating chairmanship of the Economic Community of West African States from Nigeria's Bola Tinubu. UN chief warns of cycle of retaliation after US bombs Iran. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres warned Sunday against yet another cycle of destruction and retaliation following the US strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, which he said marked a perilous turn in the region. He says, quote, I have repeatedly condemned any military escalation in the Middle East, unquote, the Secretary General told an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. From the explainer, Nelfund digitizes loan application process, accelerates. The Nigeria Education Loan Fund, Nelfund, on Wednesday in Abuja disclosed that it has fully digitized its student loan application process to accelerate the process of student loan by both institutions and applicants. A statement by Nelfund's Director of Corporate Communications, Oshayemi Oluwatui, said following the initiative, institutions which had been accredited by the agency to access loans would henceforth need to access service level agreements before they could verify and upload their students' data. And we'll take the last one from Alausa Alert. Don't waste, it's money, Lama Boss. Waste is money, it should not be wasted. Lagos residents should therefore stop discarding waste. Rather, they should tap into its vast economic value by embracing recycling and the circular economy. Well, that's it. You can pick up a copy of any of the dailies. Go online to read more. Also, interact with us via our social media platforms on X, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Traffic Radio 961, and follow me across social media at Dele Agadumo.